Hi, this is a revision video on Area of Study 1 for Unit 3 Business, and this area of study was about business foundations. So this is simply an overview of the concepts and the knowledge that you need to apply. We can start by dividing this area of study and the content that the study design says you need to know into two categories: business characteristics and management. And the first thing that we looked at was the types of businesses, starting with a sole trader who has one person who owns and runs the business, but they can employ more people. Partnerships are also small to medium businesses. They generally have between 2 and 20 owners. Though in saying this, some industries allow more partners. Lawyers, for example, can have up to 400 different partners. A business can then change to a company. And they do this by going through incorporation, where the business is no longer tied to the owners. It becomes its own legal entity. And the most common type of company is a private limited company, where people can buy and sell shares in the company privately. A public listed company, which you can see there, is the one which can have an unlimited amount of owners who buy and sell their ownership or shares in the company. They do this through the Australian Securities Exchange, which is also known as the Stock Exchange. Then we've got a couple of additional ways in which businesses can be structured. And they're also defined by the way in which they're owned, but not necessarily the amount of owners they have. A social enterprise is owned and run by people where the main objective is to fulfill a social need, like helping out the third world or assisting those with mental illness. They can make a profit, but it's not necessarily their primary objective. Finally, a GBE is owned and operated by the government, like Australia Post or VicRoads. Another defining feature about these types of businesses is for sole traders and partnerships, they have unlimited liability, meaning the business is directly tied to the owners, and any of the business's debts are also the owner's debts. Whereas private, limited, and public listed companies are their own legal entity, and because of this, the owners there have limited liability. The next topic regarded business objectives. So these are some of the primary goals a business can have. Ones that you need to know are to make a profit, which is having the highest amount of money left over after all your costs have been subtracted from all the money you received from your sales. Increasing your market share is having a larger amount of sales within the market compared to the past and compared to your competitors. Then we've got to fulfill a market or social need, to identify a gap in the market, something that hasn't yet been fully tapped into, something that customers and society want or need, and then filling it. And finally, meeting shareholder expectations. So making sure that your shareholders are happy. This is done through having professionally run businesses with a good reputation and that will make them money. You also need to be aware of the different stakeholders and what they're all interested in. Shareholders or owners want to make money and make more than what they have invested or put into the business. Managers, they're more interested in achieving the objectives. That is the things that are listed above, and it may actually include increasing their profit. Employees, they want a couple of things. They want to be valued, first of all. They want to be rewarded financially. They want to be rewarded through career advancement and through being recognized for their efforts. They also want a safe and welcoming and challenging work environment. Customers, to put it simply, want high quality at low cost. But they also want their businesses to be socially responsible. And suppliers, they, like the business itself, want increased profit and sales. But what stakeholders want often clash, and you need to be aware of this. And also, as I just touched on, you need to be aware that consumers want businesses to go beyond their legal obligations to ensure environmental and social goals are met as well. So businesses need to balance their environmental and social responsibilities with their intention to be economically successful. This is the triple bottom line approach: environmental, social, and economic. Corporate culture also falls under this banner of business characteristics, and it's made up of the official and real corporate cultures. Official being what they intend to portray, and real being the actual values the business demonstrates through their dress code and staff behavior. A positive corporate culture can be built through creating policies that outline what the business stands for, implementing symbols and rituals that communicate and reinforce these values, and celebrating their heroes, those successful employees who reflect the values. They also employ people who demonstrate these values. Now let's move across to our other content knowledge on management, starting with the different areas of management responsibility, the different parts of the business which require different management. And the operations managers are responsible for producing the good or service. Financial managers, as the name suggests, covers the financial aspects. Human resources also need to be managed, that is, looking after staff and their entry and exit from the business. Sales and marketing are responsible for promoting the business and selling the good or service to the public. And technology support management covers all aspects of the business's internal technology. All managers can have different styles as well, and you need to be aware of when they are appropriate. So starting with the autocratic management style, this is where the manager makes all the decisions and doesn't even communicate their reasoning to the employees. This is one of the more negative management styles as kind of a general thing, but they are effective when quick decisions are needed. They are effective in times of crisis and when employees don't have a lot of experience, so the managers are the ones that whose opinions will be the most valuable. Persuasive management style, that's where the manager does also make the decisions, but in this case they communicate why to the employees as well. This is effective also for when quick decisions are required and also when employees have limited experience. Consultative management style, this is where the manager makes the decisions, but only after consulting with the employees. It's effective for when a change is being implemented and also when employees have a little bit of experience that they can contribute. A participative management style, this is where the manager shares decision making with the employees, and it's effective when the environment is undergoing rapid change and when employees have some kind of experience and that they can really add to the decision making. Finally, a laissez-faire approach. This is where the manager has no role in the decision making. A laissez-faire management style is effective for creative work and research work, and when the employees have some experience and have lots of experience to be able to make their own decisions. You also need to be aware of management skills, the different skills which managers portray, and all of these different management styles should demonstrate these skills, but they might just demonstrate them in slightly different ways. Starting with communication, this is two-way communication where a message is provided and feedback is received in exchange. Delegation, transferring your responsibilities to other people, splitting up those responsibilities and giving them for other people to work on as well. Planning, which is organizing and preparing. Leading, influencing and motivating others. Good managers are also really effective leaders. Decision making, being able to analyze the potential solutions and choose the one that they're going to implement. Also, managers need good interpersonal skills. They need to be able to interact and build positive relationships with their staff. And depending on the style, effective managers will use different management skills in different ways and to various degrees. So these are the concepts from this first area of study, and having a grasp of these topics should hold you in good stead.